Hello, it's the Universal Critic, and it's time for all you fanboys out there to assemble. That's right, today's review is The Avengers, which I've just seen for the second time, yeah. Yeah, I saw it last weekend, and I was really busy, and I couldn't do the review, and then I saw it again this weekend, so while it's still in my mind, I'm going to do it right now while I have the time. Anyway, let's see, well, I'll spill the story really quick for you for all three of you people out there who haven't seen this movie, which, by the way, because of that, I'm not going to worry about giving any spoilers, because, well, everyone's already seen the movie so far. Well, basically, it's about Loki, the villain from Thor, coming to Earth to find the Tesseract, that thing from Captain America, to take over the world. Yeah, it's a pretty basic story, really, but it's really good. The characters are really good, the action's really good, the story, while basic, is still very entertaining. You still care what's going on, and, well, yeah, it's just an awful lot of fun. Let's start. Okay, the story, that's pretty much all there is to say about that. It's basic but fun. And let's talk about the characters. Well, let's see. We got Iron Man, who of course, as always, steals the show entirely. Whenever Robert Downey Jr. says a line, you can't hear the line after. I couldn't hear the line after because everyone was laughing so hard. Yeah, he's an awesome character. He totally steals the show, but he's not my favorite character. My favorite superhero. That belongs to a certain other superhero that I can't name right now. Well, anyway, let's see, what are the other characters? Scarlett Johansson's as Black Widow. Yeah, she's a great actress. She's a fun character, not to mention a complete hottie, but that's beside the point. I like her in this movie because, well, she's not a token female superhero. I mean, I guess she is technically, because she's the only female member of the group, but it doesn't draw attention. They don't draw too much attention to it. She's just a badass action hero who happens to be a woman. I mean, there is sort of a little subplot with her and Hawkeye maybe having a romance, but it doesn't really amount to much, so I'm not going to bother with that, and neither should you. And let's see, now we got another one of my favorites, but not my absolute favorite, Thor, played by Chris Hemsworth. I just love the way that guy talks. He's like, it's all Shakespearean and bombastic and like real grandiose. It's really fun. It's really funny to hear him talk all elegant and manly and stuff with everyone else talks normally. It's just, well, I guess he comes from a Viking-like culture, so I guess it makes sense, but it's still interesting. And that brings me to the villain Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston. He's great as Loki. He's a lot of fun. You can tell he's like really enjoying this performance. He's nasty, he's spiteful, he's controlling, he's manipulative, he's very intelligent, but yeah, he's just a great villain. There's also a specific scene I want to point out where he's talking with Black Widow and Loki's locked in a glass cage. I felt like I was in Silence of the Lambs or something, because there's this witty retort between him where he's like trying to psych her out, go all Hannibal Lecter on her. I was half expecting him to do the thing, because it was so cool. He's so creepy, but then we find out what it led to. Yeah, he's a great villain. He's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's so much fun. Let's see, what are the other characters? Captain America, played by Chris Evans. Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a great superhero. I mean, he's got that whole like fish out of water, frozen for 70 years thing. Everyone he's known is gone, but they don't really draw too much attention to that. All that was covered in his standalone movie, and he's a great character. He's a very determined soldier. He's almost like a general, even though he wasn't really a general. He's only a captain, but I guess General America doesn't sound as good as Captain. But yeah, he's a good character. He's sort of a kind of a leader of the two. Like, he's sort of like the strategist. Not that I'm a bit of a fanboy of his or anything. Yeah. Well, anyway, he's a great character. They're all great characters. And then there's the last of the superheroes, Hawkeye, played by, damn it, I can't remember his name, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, he's pretty good too, though he's kind of only in a supporting role, but he's still good. For most of the movie, he's like hypnotized by Loki or something, and that's pretty interesting. It shows but he still gets to show what an awesome character he is. With the bow and arrow and everything. The only person I've seen on film to handle a bow and arrow better would be Jennifer Lawrence's Katniss Everdeen, but you can hear about all that in my Hunger Games review. But yeah, he's a good character. They're all great characters. Now, let me get something straight. I have never read a comic book in my life. Ever. Not Marvel, not DC, or anybody else. I don't care. I don't care. I know that may be disappointing you because I can't bitch about all the changes they probably had to make for this movie. If they made changes, I've never read the comics, so I have no idea what if they changed anything. But hey, it's a movie. Movies should be good despite whether you read the source material or not, and that's why this movie was so good. You didn't need to read the source material. You had to see the other movies, but yeah, the other movies are but it still stood on its own. You could still, even without all that, you can still sort of gather you could still sort of gather what they're going through, and because they explained the movie. That's what I like about this movie. They covered all the characters' backstories in other movies, so we didn't have to spend the first 2/3 of this movie explaining them. It's all already set up for the most part. The only thing we have to cover is how they all get together. Everything else has been explained. That's nice. Oh, crap! I forgot to mention, of course, one of the most challenging superheroes to bring to the big screen: the Hulk. The challenges with the Hulk character is because one, he's almost completely computer generated, and two, he's been played by 3 different actors: Edward Norton, Eric Bana, and now, oh God, I can't remember his name, but it's a different actor this time. Anyway, the guy who plays the Hulk and Bruce Banner does a great job. Well, I guess he doesn't really play the Hulk. That's all CGI, but yeah, he does a great job as Bruce Banner. He's always sort of the Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing, where he's a calm or ordinary, very intelligent guy, but then he's also this brutal monster. He's a great character. Seeing a pattern here, they're all great characters. Anyway, how's the rest of the movie? How's it hold up to its hype? It holds up to its hype perfectly. It's an awesome movie. There's even talks of it getting an Oscar nomination or two, and not just in the usual department of visual effects. So I don't know if it'll even be nominated for Best Picture. But after the response people gave to the Dark Knight not getting Best Picture, yeah, I think they'll take this one at least into consideration. At least 1 or 2 nominations wouldn't hurt. And speaking of the Dark Knight, that brings me to another bill. This reminds me that after seeing this movie, I have to admit the next Batman movie is going to have a really hard act to follow. Not just from the Dark Knight, but now for the Avengers. Yeah, kind of sets the bar a little high. The bar set pretty high after that. Not that I'm a huge fanboy of Batman or anything. Anyway, like I said, the Avengers. One last thing. I did not see the movie in 3D. Not this time or last time, and I really don't care. 3D, from what I saw in the movie, there were a few shots that probably would have worked in 3D, but for the most part, it's probably not worth your money. But apparently that didn't make a difference to people because this movie has gotten the highest, the most successful debut ever for any movie, not just a comic book movie or anything, for any movie, like 200 million in 3 days. Obviously, 3D isn't hurting it, or maybe it's helping it, but it's certainly not hurting it because, well, yeah, any movie that makes that much money has got to be gold. So, overall, The Avengers is a great movie. You'll have a ton of fun, whether you've never read a comic book in your life like me, or you're a diehard fan. It'll probably satisfy everyone because it probably has satisfied everyone because Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 91%. Everybody seems to like this movie, and I can definitely see why. It's a great ton of fun. I'm not gonna lie, there's no real deeper meaning or anything. If you're looking for something like the deep, dark, brooding like the Dark Knight, you're not gonna find it here. It's just straightforward. It's pure fun. That's all it is. It's fun. Doesn't have any deep meaning or anything. It's just fun, and that's fine. If you're going for that, that's what Marvel comics, from what I've seen, are about. Marvel movies are all bright and colorful, and they're fun. I mean, they do get violent at points, but they're still fun, and that's what this movie is. Just pure fun. Just let it go. It never gets stupid, mind you, but it's just simple fun. I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. Goodbye.